Kinzie, how you feeling? That's the million-dollar question, right?
I'm feeling great. I'll be ready for this weekend, that's for sure.
So when you got behind the plate, any problems? You got in for a minute?
No, not really. I've been working back to feeling 100% specifically for this weekend, so I was really excited when Coach had me suit up this past weekend.
How frustrating has it been? Did you flash back to 2022 at all when it initially happened? Like, how's that process been to be like, okay, it's just a tweak?
Yeah. No, definitely. When it did happen, I was a little bit scared. It is my last year, so initially the fear was the first response. But I'm a lot more mature than I was back then, so it was a lot easier for me to just take it as it comes, going day by day. We're just stacking good days, trying to be back 100% as quickly as I can, but also allowing it to heal so that I'm ready for this coming weekend and the future. But I would like to say that I'm really proud of Riley Ludlam, and I'm really, really grateful for her because I am confident in her abilities, and I was confident in her abilities, and it allowed me to rest and be able to do my rehab and get everything situated. So I'm just really grateful for her.
Kinzie, we just were talking to Patty, and she talked about the conversations that you had with Jen during some of the games. Mm-hmm. What was that experience like, and what did you learn during that time, looking at the game in a different way?
Absolutely. When you're on the bench injured, you get to see the game from a whole different perspective. I got to learn about my teammates in a different way, and being able to sit there with Coach Rocha and just think about pitching and think about the pitcher's mindsets and pitch calling in general, because going forward, I'm not sure what the future holds for me, but it's got a lot more softball in it. So I was really excited to learn from Coach Rocha and just be able to see that different side of the game.
Could both of you guys talk a little bit about this Texas offense? They have some power, but really a lot of speed. They just want to get a lot of runners on. What's the challenge of going against that offense?
Yeah, I would say at third, I think it's going to be really fun for me because I like that they challenge third basemen to the short game, and they're quick. Like, their whole lineup has speed, like you said. But I think what's fun, especially playing against these types of teams, is it's the best games. Like, when they're competitive and they're giving their best, they're only making us better. So for sure that, and just I think they really do a good job of finding holes. So it's just a matter of our defense trying to cover those spots and just be prepared for it. So.
You spoke really highly of the evolution of this defense. Do you guys sense it kind of rounding into the form you guys would expect from the defense this year?
Absolutely. Coach always says defense wins championships. So we're really excited for the challenge this weekend, just what they can bring to the table. All credit to Texas. Their program has developed over the past few years. Dulcini definitely, she beat us a couple years ago. So we're looking forward to the challenge, not only defensively, but in the batter's box as well.
Mm-hmm.
Alyssa, for you, how has your defensive game, you feel like, evolved, maybe taking a step forward this year?
Yeah, I've had a lot of fun just settling in. I think last year I obviously just had a lot of time to grow in that, but I think now being a senior, kind of taking that role as a leader on the field too. I think last year was different with Grace Lyons. We kind of just fell in line behind her because she led so well. But I think now it's kind of we can all step up as one. So that's been kind of really fun for me, and just a challenge to kind of, have fun and be up in people's faces and cover shots. That's been really a joy to me, and it's brought a lot of fun in the game too. So.
Alyssa, you were a great shortstop, though. Mm-hmm. Your freshman year at Oregon. You were they were looking at you at short here this year, but Patty thought you were so good at third that she couldn't take you off that position. How'd that make you feel when she said, it's not that you're not good enough to play here, but I'm going to keep you at third?
Yeah, I think it's just a testament to being a utility. And, you guys saw me in left field when I first got here, and then just being open. So, really, all the years that I've been here, I've just been excited to be on the field. I think it's a privilege to be in the lineup on this team because we're so competitive and good. So I took it as a compliment, and I knew Tiara was going to do an amazing job, so I really didn't have any feelings towards it at all. I was going to just take my role that was given and make the best of it. So.
You mentioned Tiara. Just how have you seen, as the season's gone on, just her get more and more comfortable playing that shortstop spot?
Yeah, I think she's definitely settled into she's always been a leader, but I think her vocalness now, she's really taken that and just went along with it really well, and she has all the physicality, all of the tools. So it's been fun to watch her and just how she commands the infield and developing her range and different things like that. So it's been fun.
Alyssa, this is one of the few truly hostile environments you guys get to play in.
What do you remember from a couple of years ago making that trip down?
I love playing at Texas, at OSU, because I think these are like the most fun games. And LSU last year was a good example of that. I think it only makes us better because, like you guys have all seen, we have like home crowds everywhere, which is impressive, and we can thank Sooner Nation for that. But I think it makes us better knowing that everyone else is against us because it challenges us to step up and bow up. So we're always excited for those environments. I think that's when our greatness shines out more. So again, I think playing in Austin is really fun, and they're a great team, so it's going to be a good series.
Kinzie, you're at home plate, though. In baseball, I know it can get pretty violent. In softball, can the fans get on you pretty good?
Absolutely. I definitely heard my fair share of comments, but I like getting rowdy a little bit. I like doing that. I like that back there. So it's definitely goes both ways, but I know that this 2024 team, we like getting a little bit rowdy, so it should be really fun.
Kinzie, you talk about sort of circling this one as one to get back for. What all goes into that? Specifically wanting to get back for this Texas series.
Just trusting in my teammates. Like I said earlier, I had a lot of trust and a lot of faith in Ludd back behind the plate, but as I wasn't playing and they scored 12 runs in the first inning, so I was like, hey, I don't got to rush anything. They're doing just fine. But just a testament, everybody's replaceable on the field. It don't matter if you're a 3-time All-American, if you're a 3-time national champion, there's always somebody trying to take your spot. So just being able to understand that, still work really, really hard, but also take care of myself in the process is something that I've learned from that past in 2022. Like, I didn't take care of myself at all, but I was working really hard. It didn't work at all. So being able to do both simultaneously is definitely what's allowing me to be able to be ready this Friday.
But also, when you talk about this series, the rivalry, just the state of both these programs, what is it that makes this one maybe a little bit different?
I mean, this is the Red River Road. I was going to be ready regardless of whether I was healthy or not. So I think that just the challenge of us every year, it doesn't matter who's ranked what, or it's always a great game. It doesn't matter ever. So I'm just really excited for the energy and the atmosphere because we will see them down the road as well. They are a top-ranked team. They're either going to be at the World Series or we'll see them down the road in postseason. So just really excited to see what this weekend looks like.
They throw 4 more arms. You mentioned earlier the challenge at the plate, but how does that prep? I mean, I know that you could see 3 or 4 pitchers, in any series, but these are some really good arms. Like, what's the approach in just getting ready for that number of potential arms you can see?
Challenging ourselves at practice, definitely. You don't walk into this series. We don't walk into any series lightly, but this one especially. Just being confident in our preparation for sure. We're working on everything you could throw at us, really. So we're gonna be ready, and we're gonna be ready.
Kinzie, how has Riley Ludlam been in terms of getting to adjust with the new pitching staff here?
Honestly, unbelievable. She came here from Furman down in Florida, and the amount of questions that she asked me from when she got here to now, I couldn't even tell you how many there was. She was just like a sponge. Everything that I had to teach her, she wanted to learn. And I think that coming from another 5th year to another 5th year, just that mentality is very, very rare. And I think it just goes to show how eager she was to learn and just to be in this program, and I was really excited just to share with her everything that I knew, and she's worked very, very hard, and it definitely has shown in the past few weeks.
Alyssa, I know different pitchers, so it's not carrying something over year to year, but a lot of success in that stadium in Oregon, a lot of success for you personally a couple years ago. Is there something too, even though it's a road stadium, being comfortable, having good memories as far as having a good weekend, stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, I just really kind of take one weekend at a time, one game at a time. Like I said, I have a lot of fun in those environments. I feel like those big games are the ones where I feel like I thrive. I think the passion's high, the emotion's high, and that's when I feel like I'm at my best. So they definitely create that. The fans do. Their team's amazing. Their coaching staff is so good at what they do too. So it's always a challenge, and I think it pushes us. And for me, I'm excited for those environments and that stage. So, yeah.
Both of you guys defensively are going to be so involved in their bunt game, and I know we've talked about it a little bit, but being able to read it, I never know what Riley's going to do. So how difficult is that when teams are pretty adapted? and they're kind of hiding what they're going to do.
They do that very well, but I will say something that Brito and I also do very well to counter that is communicate. Her and I definitely have we are consistently talking to each other on the field. We're always like making eye contact. I'm pointing at her. She's talking to me about where she's at. So definitely the instincts that we have developed the past 4 or 5 years between the both of us has definitely. I've played with Brito since I was like 15 years old. So the communication doesn't come difficult to us. So it's definitely, we're very excited to work together this weekend.
Yeah, I think the pitching staff and getting them involved too in each situation makes them feel comfortable when we talk to them, because they know, like, okay, they have my back. Like, they're prepared for this. I can just pitch to my spot and react, and we got the rest. So I think that kind of lets them settle in and do what they need to do, and then let us kind of just have that stage and that prep that we have on our defensive measures in practice to kind of just go.
You guys talk about the energy and the hype of a series like this. One of the most chill players I've ever seen is Tiare. I'm wondering, how does she approach this? And you guys, even though you're both outstanding players, what have you taken from her as a teammate over these years?
One thing that I've learned from Tiare is that, like, you make an error or you do whatever, it like really doesn't matter. Like, she's definitely the one that stay consistent with her emotions, and I think that's what I love sharing the captain spot with her, is we work very well together because of that, and I know that we have each other's backs in that way. So it's definitely something that I've noticed that as she's grown into that leadership role too. So definitely the consistency aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean, her calmness has always been a part of her game since we were younger. But I think with her too is, she's always going to have your back. So even if she makes a mistake, if we make a mistake, it's like, I got you. Next play, we're good. So it's that comfort and that, like, I don't know, she's just right there with you in it. So I think that's something that for me is, I know with our defense and just the fact that we have a high standard, especially with coach, that's always good to have, especially with the captain of the infield too, as a shortstop. So yeah, she's been great. I've played with her all my life, just like Hansen, so it's always been fun, and I feel like we can kind of look to each other in those moments, and we're cool. Like, we can move on and move forward.
So even as like a teen girl, she was chill like she is
Yeah.
today?
Yeah, she's just always had fun, but just kind of just calm, consistent is always the word we describe T as, and I think it's shown a lot for her. Yeah.
Last one for Kinzie and Alyssa.
Kinzie, you've had a lot, softball, big moments. How important is it still to get that one inning, just to get back to live rap, stuff like that, last game on Saturday?
Catching for me is kind of like riding a bike. So it was just really good to be able to suit up back there and just get comfortable again. I kind of feel like I was getting some oil in my joints in that inning. So it was nice to be moving around a little bit. I've definitely been working hard the past few weeks, but this week I'm definitely ramping it up. Being able to move around and be active back there is really important this weekend, as we've talked about. So we're just really excited.